Nearly a month after, the Supreme Court set March 6th as the deadline for the SBI to give information to the Election Commission regarding the details of those who anonymously donated to political parties via the Electoral Bond Scheme. The State Bank of India has requested the top court to extend the deadline until 30th of June. Now, the central bank has sought additional time to comply with the court's directives, citing the complexity of the task at hand. Now, as per the SC judgment, SBI had to submit to the EC the entire data of the electoral bonds purchased by 6th of March. Now, this included names of purchasers, denominations, and names of political parties as well. The SBI claims, and I quote, "There are certain practical difficulties with decoding the exercise and the timeline fixed for it." It also added that due to stringent measures undertaken to ensure the privacy of the donor's identity, decoding the electoral bonds and matching the donor to the donation is a complex process. Now, remember, the Supreme Court had struck down the electoral bond scheme as unconstitutional, saying that it violated the citizens' rights to information. So as of now, what we are getting to know is that the State Bank of India has sought extension to give details to the EC over the electoral bonds, and the details are contained of those who anonymously donated to the political parties via the electoral bond scheme. And the SBI gone ahead and requested the top court to extend the deadline until June 30. The deadline was 6th of March, which has now been sought until 30th of June. Harish is joining me on the phone line to give us more details. Harish, what does this mean at this point in time with the SBI now coming out and looking for an extension from the top court in order to submit details of the donators, of the people who in fact and the political parties that have received donation in the forms of electoral bonds?
Good morning, and you're right. A day left for the Supreme Court set deadline is to expire. State Bank of India has moved the Supreme Court with an application seeking extension of time till June 30 to furnish information regarding electoral bonds to the Election Commission. As per Supreme Court judgment, as you rightly put, SBI has to furnish the information to Election Commission of India by March 6th, that is tomorrow. As per the February 15 judgment of the Supreme Court, the SBI was to submit by March 6 to ECI entire data on electoral bonds purchased till date, including name of purchasers, denomination of the purchasers, and name of political parties that have received contributions. And this said information was to be published by Election Commission of India on its website by March 13. And regarding the reason for seeking extension of time, SBI says there are practical difficulties with the decoding exercise and the timeline fixed by the Supreme Court due to stringent measures undertaken to ensure that the identity of the donors were kept anonymous. Decoding of the electoral bonds and the matching of the donor to donations made this a very complex process and time-consuming, and data related to the issuance of the bond and data related to the redemption of the bond was kept recorded in two different silos. No central database was maintained. This was done to ensure that donors' anonymity would be protected, and donors' details were kept sealed at some branches. They were later deposited in the main branch of the applicant bank located in Bombay. And so that is why the SBI has sought more time to divulge the details. So it's expected that SBI will mention this matter before the Chief Justice bench at 10:30. We'll have to wait and watch. We'll have to see whether the SBI gets more time or the Supreme Court will stick to its deadline of March 6th, that is tomorrow. Back to you.
Okay. Harish, appreciate you joining us with all the details there on that story. We will be taking in the updates, but as of now, shifting our focus.